we talk about how the whole thing started. So this company started in 16 Feb 1989. This was the beginning of the company. That's why we're talking about 30 years in 2009. 2019 rather. And the company was 2 + 1, 3 people. And typical story, the way it happens, we had only 2 tables, 2 Godrej tables, second-hand tables. And the flooring of Chemistry Street office was not flooring, it was picket flooring, it was not a straight flooring. So we have to wipe it also properly every day because there's too much of dust used to come every time. And then Devna joined in, one more table we put on the side and one Godrej Almirah. This is how this office started. And beginning was, I would say, CSC, one small order, and then from NTPC, Obra. These are the places we started getting orders. And those days, it was Obra, travel by train all the time. Sometimes there is no computer system those days, so tickets was not available. So we had traveled without ticket also, including myself, buy the tickets in the train. While coming, sometimes nothing was available, no ticket also. Outside, sitting on the floor of 3rd class beside the toilet. So that much I have seen, done it. So it's not that something very flashy was there. It was very simple story. And one competitor was behind us those days, one gentleman from Calcutta. So he used to get our orders cancelled. Suppose we were delayed by a day or 2 days, order was to be cancelled. That kind of competition was that. That person was behind us. So that point of view, the confidence was such that don't participate in all tenders. Even 100 rupees or 500 rupees tender fees was difficult. So that was the scenario this company started, that we didn't have the even tender payment fees also. Today we have got all kinds of luxuries and no users list, no PQR. So whole purpose was that just get as much orders as we can, and the bag used to say that whatever you say we will organize. So we too used to travel and Devna used to make the quotations. The whole story was like this, and slowly we moved on and getting more businesses, because those days what happened, if you remember 89, Mr. VP Singh was the Prime Minister. So he made imports very difficult. So there was no foreign currency. If you remember old days, that gold was given to Bank of London or whatever. So no foreign currency was available. So import was very difficult. So we travelled all over, especially UP and that side, and wherever we went, they were ready for give some business, but money was not there. This was a whole, somehow we managed through, and the big break came from SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. SAIL was having a environment management project where they were setting up laboratories all over steel plants, and somebody from Durgapur Steel Plant told that why don't you meet Dr. Basu in Calcutta. So that was an interesting story. I just came from morning train to Calcutta, went straight to office of SAIL, Ganesh Chandra. The director was sitting there. I said, sir, I have been told to meet you. Ki korte paro? Aapko bolun, sob kuch korte paro. Can you give me water pollution, air pollution and noise pollution instruments? Yes, I can do. Those days, again I am saying the same thing. No, nothing was asked. Korte parbe, korte parbe. It put us on the vendor list. And we participated in the tender. And we practically got 60 to 65% tender. I think it was more than 15 crores order in those days. And the submission was very dramatic. We had only one photocopy machine in the office and one printer, nothing else in the office. And this thick tenders, each this thick, like noise, water, air was this thick, and you have to make 3 copies. Somehow we prepared 1 copy, but we couldn't make 3 copies. The date was there, so we didn't have that kind of scenario that automatic machines will. With a very small photocopy machine, and whole night Mr. Ganguly was also there, whole night we 4 hours just copying it and filing it. Somebody was filing, somebody was copying it. And by 6 o'clock in the morning, the machine went off. So it was so hot, the machine got hot, the roller got, I would say, burnt or melted. So I think I traveled to service engineer, called the service engineer from his home, brought to the office, somehow he repaired it. Again the machine started. So you finished the whole thing by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock was submission, and then we went by car. Somewhere in Free School Street, there was a traffic jam. Those days there was no one-way system. The traffic jam, and we both, me and Mr. Ravis, ran with the bags to the Ganesh Chandra office, and we submitted on time. So this is why I have given the story that this is how the spirit of company is. We have to complete the job and complete the job on time. And the result was wonderful that we got more than 12 to 15 crore, and that was the big I would say break for us. We got everything, those orders, and slowly wherever we went, success started following. So this is how I would say the company started. And the journey now, we can write about journey because 30 years, these interesting steps. So one by one we can go through that. And it was only a spares company initially. We talked about spares. Whatever the customer says, yes. 3-4 years later we realized that it will not work. Wherever you go, people will send you 10-20 inquiries, and at the end they will buy 1 or 2. Because they get their wish list. So slowly we realized that we should do something which is more specific, and this is what we can do. Then the level state came, Narvik came, Cora, and one more product, something like that. So first agency was level state, and level state first order from CSC, as I explained to you in the morning. We just went there, they agreed, and the order came. And then thereafter, various places we started quoting, and slowly orders came. We had a huge problem of quality. We solved that. We could even convince the manufacturer to design the probe differently. They designed it after our suggestion. After designing all, we could do it well. But first 2-3 years were difficult about the quality. And 91, and those days, as I said, very small office. We were 7-8 people. Then we, from 2 to 3, 3 to 8, 9, and within 2 years we moved to a bigger office. This is where you are seeing us, White House. But those days we had only 6 to 7 people. And White House also, it was not simple. Like I am a chartered accountant, so I had a boss. In chartered accountant, you have to work under a chartered accountant for 3 to 4 years. Articleship, if you know about articleship. So I was an article clerk, and with the boss also very good relationship, hot and cold, whatever. 60 rupees was the stipend those days when we used to get 60 rupees a month. For working for the whole month, you get 60 rupees. First year. Second year, 150 rupees. This is how we used to get the money from the boss. And then I said, sir, I want a bigger office. Because it's a 250 square foot office we are doing. And he said, how much you want? I said, 1250 to 1500. 5 times or 6 times if you can get me, fine. But what he did, he went of his own and he did this White House. White House is exactly, if you talk about, is around how much? 5,000. It's approximately 5,000 square feet. You think of your boss, he tells you, yeah, you take this. I've said yes and you have to take it. And those days, again, I'm talking about why the life was simpler those days. I couldn't say no to my Guruji or boss. You see, what if he has said yes and he has given a commitment, I have to fulfill it. And I was really worried when we were making the office. I was really worried what will we do going there. 5-6 people and such a huge office, what will happen? Again, if you are original or if you don't have too much drama around you, this is what happens. And of its own, I still do not know how it happened. Somewhere from, I was in CSC, somebody told that Rolls-Royce has got the order for Bajaj and they are looking for a high quality office. I just said that our office is world class. I didn't even say high quality, I said our office is world class. And they got interested, they came and saw the office. And they liked the office and they took 1/3 of the office at a reasonably high rentals. So this is how 1/3 was given, and one more company came from UK. They also took a room, one more room. So this is how half of our office was occupied by others, and balance half we were there. Still a lot of empty spaces. This is how we started. And this agreement also, I never got the agreement signed from a British company for 6 years or 7 years they stayed. Because they said, we will not sign an agreement because your office doesn't have 2 staircases. A British company has got rules written that wherever you take office, there must be a separate exit route. If there is a fire, there is a separate exit route. So again, I don't know, same during the meeting, we said, I will not sign it, I will not take it. I said, what's the problem? That you don't have a second exit route. So I said, this office is on 5th floor, you are on a terrace. So if there is a fire, please come out on the terrace. You will be safe from the fire. And if you fire further spreads to you, then you jump from 5th floor. And by the side of our office, there is a hospital. So if you survive, we will take you to the hospital. And if you can't survive, there is a crematory opposite to that. So we will take you to crematory. And he laughed about the way you were laughing, he also laughed, and it got solved. He said, he didn't ask any other question, and he didn't sign it. Being a British, there is a system there. I will not break any rules. He didn't break any rules. He didn't sign it, but he stayed. 7 years he was there in our office. Wonderful relationship. A lot of businesses we got. Rihan contracts we got. A lot of things happened with that. So it's like that. So this is how a very interesting story about high-tech. And slowly we grew, they finished their projects, other companies came, they finished their projects, they left. So this is how the whole thing happened, that people were doing their work, finishing their project, leaving the office, and we were occupying the bigger space. And with time we grew, and then we expanded office. If you see some of the locations we have added to the office. And then branches started. Bombay, New Delhi was first, important always. So we had Bombay and New Delhi branches. And Hora also got completed. Narvi came in between. Narvi was always there. And one more company, DFI, came in. This is 4-5 companies we are working. And going on, like, okay, small business, small approach. 1999 we completed 10 years. By the time, more branches led. Because always there, we in India, if you want to do business, you should be present all over India. A huge country, you cannot travel from one city. And another problem when I was there initially I faced from customers was Calcutta. Like I remember NTPC, so you are from Calcutta, so they used to look at like this. Nowadays they say that Acha, you are from Mumtaz, Delhi's place. Those days there is nothing like that, they say, Acha, you are from Calcutta. Because it was CPM days, Acha, would you be able to deliver? There was the question being from Calcutta. So that was another thing which you have to break, that yes, we are a company which can deliver. And business was moving slowly. The typical growth rate of 2-3%. I'll show you the graph also. What was the growth rate? 1 or 2%, 3% growth rate. And business was moving. I would say we were enjoying the thing, and business was moving at a very slow pace. And 2006 we entered into power generation business, because whatever we have earned in suppose 15-16 years, the time came that okay, what else to do? Nothing much to do on growth. Let's enter into clean power. So those days we took 2 units, and that those days we put equity also for the people there. So we provide equity to the people. And slowly gauge class business was growing, levels was growing, but imported makes it very expensive. As I said, it was 20 units a year, 30 units a year. So to bigger growth, Thermax said that if you drop the price, we can get you more business. So for dropping what? You have to start doing it locally. And we didn't have a very large team of manufacturing or large team of design or whatever. So somehow we started with some parts of the gauge glasses, some parts of, and one company in Delhi we contracted for manufacturing the inserts. Like inserts was imported, but machining and everything else they were doing. So the business started with, and Sarsona was mainly for assembly of the whole thing. Very small operation. I still don't remember the figures, but very small operation. EMP business we started in 2009 is important year, I would say. As I say, we complete 20 years. When you see the next graph, you will observe that how everything was very simple for 20 years. So this is what I said if you in the morning, 20 years is a student life, and then you go to the next level. So ours for also is student life, 20 years, we are doing the same thing. And 2.0 is 20 years. And then we just analyze the whole organization, what we did in last 20 years, what is our mission and vision. Those days earlier we were talking about to be in top 3 of any business, be the aggressive marketing person, all those things was our mission statement. Then we talked to customers, they said, what is special about high-tech, what you find good about high-tech. So it's a reliable, responsive and responsible company. Those became the part of our vision and mission statement. And then we found that what are we doing? So we have been doing selling, but besides that, what else? What else means we are doing services also in a small way, erection, commissioning and all that. We are doing some manufacturing and a small portion of leasing and a small portion of clean power generation. All very small, but we are doing it 5 different verticals. This has to be separated to know who is doing what and how we can grow each of the vertical of its own. And that was the time, if you remember, 2008, Lehman Brothers happened. You could be very young, but those days I would say 2008, Lehman Brothers happened, everything collapsed. Stock market or business sentiment, everything collapsed. And that was the time we realized that if we do something different now from others, and we should add our product line. Something was happening at customer end also. Customer was saying that okay, if you can do this, some customer said that if you can do sky climber, you can do a good job. I found some quotations on the table of a customer of Dilo agent. Dilo agency also came during that period, 8, 9, 10. Dilo agency is also very dramatic. I was sitting on the table of a customer and there was a dealer quotation, 25 lakhs a card. The letterhead quality was so poor that it didn't have a proper paper, proper email address. I said, this agent is not a good agent. We can certainly remove him and become the agent. That was the first thought. I took the copy of the quotation and then started approaching Delo. Got the prices from England, from Delo, got the order, executed the order. Nobody from India knew about it. After the order was executed, got 2 more orders executed, and then those days we got an order from Korea for GIS systems, 16 bay, a large order. There we had to supply SF6 cards. There I became an EPC contractor. The behavior and why we understand so well, we had a choice, supply SF6 card. No brand was given. So I took the prices from Delo and I took the prices from Enerware. Enerware somehow quoted 30% cheaper, so we bought from Enerware and supplied to CSC. And it went to CSC within 2-3 months, it failed or it was not working. So we got another order from CSC for Delo cards. So with 4-5 orders, we went to Delo to see what we have done. Your agent never came to know about it, and this is what we are. And your agent will never survive the market needs or whatever. And this is how Delo started. Same time, Skyclimber, very interesting story. And various agencies came in, and our team went to up to Israel, like America, Europe, Israel. So each places, wherever we went, people were happy because those days sentiments were down. Nobody was talking business. We came and we talked about business. So that if you remember the period from September 8, I think, September 8, 2008 until 6 to 7 months, things were very bad. Those was the period we did most of our expansion work, and then we came very fast from 4 to 16. And that was a huge jump, I would say, on thought process also, that yes, instead of 4, we can do 16. And we prepared a brochure which had a 16 product line. And I remember first copy was given to Hora, Mr. Matthias. His first comment, would high-tech be able to do it? This is how I feel. When you talk about despair, this was despair. Would high-tech be able to do it? Because his perception was something else. And I would say 5 years was very challenging. We did it practically. Because still we are up to 14 to 16 products. So if we can survive for 10 years, it's wonderful. And in some areas, we are now market leaders. Some of the products which came up those days, we are the market leaders. Skyclimber came, it took 6 to 8 months extra. Skyclimber story was more interesting. Because that was an agent of 35 years. They were working with a company called Breach Cotton, 35 years of agency. So and it's a big company. To displace them and bring to high tech was a big task. So it happened. Some other day I'll give you talk about that. And we became like 100 people in the high tech in 2011. And 2014, yeah, this was another, as I said in the morning, it was an important milestone. There were some special moments, and from here we started working on, until 2014, I would say the whole pyramid, the whole organization pyramid was inverse pyramid. There were more people at the senior level and less people at the middle and junior level. This was becoming an issue, so we wanted to change that. There was some re-engineering happened in the company during 13-14, and particularly 14 at a fast pace. And that brought about a change, the whole again culture, that we became a normal company which should have less people at the top and a bigger pyramid where we have a middle management also and a fresh people also. So this is what you see today, the high tech is from the 2014 re-engineering plan. That okay, we will modify the company, we will come out of the whole structure of too many people at the senior and more people to grow, and things can happen properly. This is how I would say. And 15, we talk more about services. 18, T&D is showing, it took 2-3 years, but T&D was the time, if you remember 2014 onwards, not much of thermal power projects came, new projects. So we found that 14, if new is not coming, whatever else has come in last 2008 to 14, 6 years, we will require T&D. So we entered into various products, and a group was made particularly for T&D. So when you see the today, T&D group is the largest group with 6 equipments and a large team. So you will see this is going to be the business for next few years. If generation doesn't work too much, so T&D for the new projects. Old projects, whatever has happened, generation we are continuing to do business. And 19, like as we told in the morning, 30 years we completed this year. So here we are talking about another leap. What change is happening, slowly we'll explain to you. And in this year particularly, these two have come in, GE and NKT, and new offices came into Nagpur, Jamshedpur and Jingroli, and we are talking about working with some other companies abroad. So M&A merger and acquisition talks are on the right. And I will explain to you how this belief to belief has happened into all these segments. We talk about existing business, new business, team, branches, infra improvement, works already been done, what next personally for you, what next for business, and why all this? Why all this drama? So it is also play. What is we are doing is a play. Some people finish the play, some people don't finish the play. Some people really do it very well, some people don't do it well. And for a businessman of my level, it's very easy to keep quiet and relax. What happens in most of businesses that you have done your job in first 10 years, why to create a big team? Have 5-6 people in the team and things will happen. If you do things only personally, if I would have thought that, something else would have happened. So here what I see existing business, the whole group of combustion, I've been talking all the time, so much potential here. Here I see a clear example of level state. Exactly, it can be replicated. We have been very successful because I will explain when we started 30 years ago, level state market size was 20 pieces. And we were competing a company which was a multinational, they had 95% market share. To us, it was told it's a garage company. It will not survive more than 3 years. Today, we are 95% in the market. They have been sold 3 times. And we are also interested to buy that company. We are little delayed in our bids, but we are also interested to buy. So this is the change happened in 25 to 28 years in this segment. Market size was 20, today market size is 250 plus. We have gone beyond India, we are now selling all over Asia, very successful. China, we talk about 14 countries, everywhere very successful. The first order came, somebody believed on us. Again, the word belief is so important that I used to sell myself, Mr. Varghese was selling, so I went to CSC, that gentleman said that who is the user? I said this is the first quotation to you. If you don't buy, nobody will buy, everybody will say the same thing. Somebody has to believe that this will work and I say it will work. And they bought the first system and after that there is no stopping. So today there is a big story because of SAP and ERP that there has to be a PQR. Those days there was nothing called PQR. So things were easier, easier for us those days, no PQR required, nothing. You go there, present yourself properly and things will happen. From there, it's a huge journey. I think level state we have got nearly 3,500 systems in India, and globally also we are very successful. And some of the markets we are leaders, I would say. So this is possible in combustion also, especially when you talk about ASLD, the way we are thinking. So it will take another year of hard work, design work to reach there. So we will wait for that year, but the plan is there. Similarly, the cameras also, there are different plans. If it works out, another I would say 1 to 1.5 years on that also. We present the whole camera thing in a different way. Lower price, easier to manufacture, easier to commission, everything will be easier. So this is a segment which we talk about. Leadership is possible, similar to level state, from 0 to maybe 80%, 90%, because these are very niche segments. Why I am touching these, that these are not proud, there is no proud there. There are 2 or 3 players, still in ASLD there are only 2 or 3 players. And we know other 2 how they are doing. So if we have to just be little one step ahead of them, and with the team behind, the R&D behind, the manufacturing power which is coming up, we can be the leaders in this existing business. And this is another story, T&D segment, a new segment which we are working for last 4 to 5 years. It's showing results now, the 4 to 5 years of work. And in T&D segment, the team is, as we all say, today we can say that the product basket is the best in India on the T&D, and the team is the best. It has team from PCI or various stalwarts are there, and youngsters are also a part of the whole team. So it's a very solid team. Product is very good. SF6, another interesting story which has developed in last 1 year. Last year, same time, there was nothing. We're just talking in the air, and maybe Sumit was thinking, or even VPI people thinking that this guy is talking on air. I said we can be market leaders, or we can at least be number 2. The number 2 of 600 crore is 120 crores. 20% if you talk about 120 crores. This is more than the high-tech sales turnover. So this was my vision. I was talking that figure, and everybody thought it's not possible. Sumit also, and whoever I talked. So today they will say, at least they will say yes, belief is there, it is possible. Because we recently got 20 systems, 20 cards in last 1 month. So if this is the speed of, suppose every 3 months you get 20 cards, talk about 80 cards. It is possible, I am saying, and it is not, the vision is not India, vision is global again. Because this is another beautiful case of positioning. If we can do it well, we can execute well, this is possible. There is nobody else in the market except Delo. And we know little bit deep into Delo, what is the psychology, how they work. If you do well, we can be the number 2, and there is no number 2 here, it's only number 1. So if there is a space for number 2 always. Pillar box, it's only a turnover business. Slowly we will position ourselves. It is still hard work going on, and a lot of hope comes from Mr. Samadar. He said, if I can do this, I can. Still, I believe him. I say again, the belief word is there. Yes, it is possible. That's why we are continuing, and I believe that it is possible. The positioning is right, and we just have to, I would say, put our manufacturing, that whole, our execution has to be proper. It is possible. We are reaching there. I would say there is a bid in Tamil Nadu. We may be there. That bid, only 2 players are left. So you are either first or second. Both will get business. The bid is what, 120, 150, 168 crores. So 168 crores, you will get either 60% or 40%. There's politics going on. So because of elections, everything is into elections. Elections are over. So let's see what happens. We may get, we may not get. I'm not saying that we're getting it, but these are the positioning places that you can reach there. And at the moment, Hi-Tech is the only company which can qualify most of the tenders. So many thousand pieces installed, so many thousand this, all those we are matching. Not many people are matching. So there is a good possibility of positioning there. But we have to, manufacturing or execution has to be worked out. Levels is another revelation, I would say. In last 14 months, I saw levels nearly 60 to 80% growth in India. We were talking about, I would say, working for 16 hours a day. February and March, some manufacturing people are there. 16 hours a day or like that we worked in February and March. So it's not pure statistics. I saw the electricity bills, they are double. It shows that we have worked 100% more. Something which is happening at this level, and just double electricity bills in March, April. And wonderful job, I would say. We must clap for the whole of the manufacturing team. It was impossible, I would say. When we look at the things, it was not possible. Because I remember initially when we started, there was a gentleman in the factory, he said, we can do 2 units a day, 2 units a month. That is the speed we can achieve. I think they have delivered more than 250 in 2 months or what? More than that? 200 in 2 months. The thought initially when we started was 2 pieces in a month. That much we can do, not more than that. The same team, same machines. So a lot of things are happening in manufacturing. So you will see an effect in next 1 year. Another big success came, the global success, which is giving me a lot of confidence to go global with more products beyond levels. We're talking about ASLD, we're talking about SF6. Why? Here again a single man suffered. Shekhar has been assigned for global sales and marketing. He's not an engineer, again a Christoph model, because I use the word Christoph again and again. And if you can learn from him, you can be a champion. Christoph came here, so he's a Christoph model. I use the word Christoph model. He's not an engineer, he's an MBA. He's not a salesman also. He likes to be behind the computer. His mind is more commutes with the computer very well. Still he could communicate so well with the foreigners, Chinese, Koreans, Japanese. Korea and Japan, we never thought that we can go. Even 25, 28 years, I always thought it's a fort. Koreans and Japanese don't buy from outside. And we went there as an Indian, will be accepted or not. So we went there and very, very successful. And I would say this whole thing, the effort, the level states turnover, which has been for last 27, 28 years, 100% jump in the turnover of level state. So this has been done, I would say, and consistently. Last year and current year also will be the same order book. So this is what is the change which is giving me confidence that if we can do this much for a single product, the moment we have a basket of 4 products, you can imagine what is possible. Same agents, more or less. We have to organize things very well. You must be seeing all the time, oh, we have gone to a distributors conference, G will call or somebody will call. That scene is in the mind that we should do that. Hi-Tech is calling in India at a good location or abroad also. Distributors conference. We call the distributors of whole of Asia or Europe wherever we make distributors. This is another vision which I think is possible. 3 to 5 years time only required. So this is what I would say success of levels. A simple product which we call niche product, which we say level, there is no business happening in power sector, no boilers being manufactured, still you are doubling the turnover. And is a one man's effort. So now he is given more support, so you will see more results happening to that. So we must clap for his efforts of last 2 years. And SkyC, because of the good team we have got here, and Christoph and Iftikhar really work out very well. So the results are wonderful despite a low down in power sector. We have got, I think, meeting our targets. And recently we have entered in a new segment, elevators, where we got a big success last year, and we look forward for more similar successes. And this time a discussion with Christoph happened that we can go global also. With these SkyC products, we can go to Asia. So we have to prepare our team. I said, let us prepare the team and show you this is what we have got. Then we will talk about global. Global means I am first thinking about Asia, like we go down below first South Asia and then later on more countries. So here also we are looking at big things, and Paul again, I would say the whole thing, big picture was shown. I am still hopeful of winning that or getting that big picture, that we get more segments, more customers and more turnover. So this is another possibility which was not there 12 months ago. And another change is happening on business verticals. Like we have been doing business for last so many years, and 2009 we designed 5 business segments or business verticals like sales and marketing, manufacturing, engineering services, leasing and clean power generation. And this is the formula of our growth, that we didn't put all our eggs into one location, that everybody does that, okay, I'm good at sales and marketing, let me do it, it's the easiest thing, let me do it. But when the tide changes in sales and marketing, there's no savior, there's nothing below that. In our case, we found in 2009 that we have been doing business, and whatever was available we did, but it was not in a very organized way. 2009 was the time when we had, I would say, second 2.0 of high-tech, that we found that yes, we do business in 5 different segments. Let us segregate it. And we found that we do sales and marketing, we do engineering services, manufacturing, leasing and clean power generation. Then the work started happening on making each of the segment very strong enough. If there are something downfall of any market, we have got something else to bank upon. And slowly each of them has become pretty reasonably big and reasonably successful, and they are contributing very well to the business model. Like if you talk about our turnover and the profits, I would say 20% or even less comes from the core business, sales and marketing. 80% comes from engineering services, manufacturing, leasing and clean power generation. If I go further deeper, you will find out of that also 90% comes from these two, leasing and clean power generation. So it is a very interesting thing, and this is where this confidence, this plan to grow comes. You said why comes from here, that we are got a beautiful business model, and if any banker looks at it, he falls in love, I would say. There's a word called being banker. With the moment banker falls in love, this is called he has fallen in love with high-tech. And Ramesh also, I would say. They come and offer you, sir, please take this money, sir, please take this money. This is what is happening to us, sir, please take, what more you want, what terms you want. This is pretty important, I would say. The team. The answers are here of most of the questions about the team. 14 months ago, like last year, I think December or January 2018, everything was fine. I think there was no demand from anybody that we need too many people or we need a lot of people about the team, and it's all fine, and we were also doing the same thing all the time. Same thing all the time. And this is where I say out of operations. I was out of operations. People say that, okay, what will happen if your office is burnt and how will you work? So this is what the scale, the idea of scaling came from there. Yes, this is possible. And I welcome all the 45 plus members. I think most of them are here, and I welcome all of you to high-tech team. So, some of them are very fresh, their first job, so it's my duty to keep you engaged beautifully there. First job is all you always remember. It's like your first love, that you remember that always. And if first love becomes a marriage, so there's nothing like it. It happens in our office also. A lot of people are first job and they are stayed all through. So it is possible for you also, but it's your choice always. But we'll try to give you the best possible induction. And today it's a surprise or a welcome induction to all of you, that you're coming for the first day and this is what you are hearing about. Change, but this is what they change. That is the beauty of our finance team. And they, besides managing finance, they manage the lower two portions, the leasing and clean power. These don't come to me, like it happens, we just have to sign it and it's done. So next is branches. In March 2018 we had 8 branches. We have been continuing like this for many years, and in, I would say, last 1 year 3 more branches are coming, Singrauli, Nagpur and then Jaipur. So we'll give them time, 1 or 2 more years to settle down, and then the business will start happening. And team expansion has happened all at Delhi. Delhi is interestingly, we had only one member and from 1 to 7. So this is magic. So you have to create magic in business also. Delhi is magic, like always I had that Delhi 1 or 2 members because Delhi I had a different aspect, but it all magic I would say, of its own it happened and we are full, we have to change the office, furniture and everything. So a lot of things have changed in Delhi. And Raipur, one more new member, Akash has joined us, always alone, so you must train him to be independent I would say, that he can work alone. I am finding you are going with him all the time, so training period is over now, so it should happen. Bhubaneswar we had one more member, like Vikram has joined, so Bhubaneswar alone with, so these 3 increase, and under implementation is at Hyderabad, Baroda and Bombay. I hope within next 3 to 4 months you will see a new member joining at, like practically if you see 8 branches, nothing much has changed in 20 years, but in last 12 months you will see office renovation or modernization at Delhi. Bhubaneswar is complete I think. Bhubaneswar with whatever change, not complete as it is happening, okay. Then Bombay it is brand new I would say, whole furniture. Calcutta you will see this office, there is another office at White House under more or less ready, that also. That has happened. And Hyderabad, some small changes in Hyderabad. Nagpur new, brand new office I would say, office and guest house brand new. Vadodara also a full new, practically brand new office. So much changes have happened on infrastructure side. I think so practically these are projects if you take seriously, but we have finished all in a very quick swing. Guest house modernization at Delhi, Nagpur is a guest house, and Calcutta also. The new office also, guest house also modernized. Sarsona, huge changes. If somebody goes to Sarsona, you will find a lot of changes have happened, and one more big project is happening. The whole new kitchen block and whatever security officers block, all that is happening. Bantala, huge changes. Like a lot of things have happened at Bantala. And Calcutta head office work has happened. 2 more locations work is happening. And next year I would say way forward for business. Business opportunities I would say existing. When we talk about, they will discuss more about it in the afternoon session. Existing business, so much possible. Like we did a small statistical analysis of combustion growth. I think I shared that about the last meeting also. And Mr. Ghosh did it very simply, that number of power stations above 210 megawatt, like 250 megawatt to 800 megawatt. This is what the analysis was now, Mr. Ghosh. 250 megawatt to 800 megawatt. All the stations added together, and how many has got combustion materials, and how many doesn't have combustion 3 products. Would you believe the statistics says, I'm not saying that this is the market, the statistics says the market size is 900 crores. Like if we calculate a value of a pyrometer, a camera and an ASLD, each of the station he buys one, those who have not bought until now. So this is how I would like to say. So 900 crores if you just divide by 15, because in 15 years we can achieve that. Imagine what is the scope of business only in one group. So this is how when you start thinking that this is the business scope, so a lot of things are possible in our own business. Like for example in levels we talk about float, the ELS which can replace float switches. If we talk about it can be thousands. Every year you can sell few thousands. Because there is a problem of float switch everywhere. Wherever you go there is a problem. But if we can deliver, because we are not taking it, because first of all we cannot design it as yet, though we have been talking about it for 3 years, but we could not design it. If you design it, we should be able to deliver like off the shelf. The day that efficiency comes that we can deliver off the shelf, somebody asks for 100 switches, we can deliver in 15 days. Then we can talk about these products. So every product, when we go deeper into the concept, there's so much possible. We talk about Dino, I would say, the machines which has got in India, huge number of more than 500 machines. Nobody is there to service it. Nobody is there to provide spares properly. So much is available in the market. This is where there is a lot of scope possible in existing business. We could just, and new products we talked about, the GE, NKT and services, we keep on adding up new things on services. And international sales and marketing, as has been told earlier also, international sales and marketing levels, and 3-4 more products will come across. Once they are mature, the idea is to bring in the basket of 4 to 5 products. And there is a SF6, for the SF6 particular, there is a business plan, I think 2.5 page business plan. It will be monitored by Mr. Guru and Sumit and the team. So much work is there also, and we have also level state UK is also part of that, the business plan. The idea is to, if it works out, the plan or the idea is to manufacture SF6 cars in England also for European market. That's another novel way of doing things, that for European market we will not think about doing it from India, it will be from England. So last visit was that there is a space available in Level State and we can do it. So we are coming back to that whole scenario that becoming a manufacturer, appointing agents all over the world, having a proper distributor conference. Let's see how far we reach. But this is the whole plan, that we will do it in England. We are talking to a Swiss company also for their brand. So a lot of work is happening in that, to do it in a real global way. And this is very important. The whole thing will come into design and development. Whatever you think are doing, it has to have some design element, something above the line. So this is where Mr. Das's team has to be more deep into it, and you will see it's very crucial. If you remember, I talked to you when we met, one session happened with him only alone, explained that this is the vision, and I think he got somewhat convinced, that's why he's here. So I think first thought was not that big about high-tech, but when he said that this is the vision, you may look at it a very small company, but this is the vision we have got. We can do so many things with design, and at least at the moment, I mean, in his basket more than 12 design projects. So more than 12 ideas are there, which was on my shoulder for the last so many years. So if they start happening, you can see what is going to happen. And the team will be there. We need more people, have more people, but things should complete. And again, we come back to execution is very important. Whatever we talk about, execution. This is my key in my mind, that this word is there all the time, execution. There are two kinds of execution. One is that you put it here, that is also called execution. So I don't want to do that, I want to do something real, which is tangible and visible. Not that I just put it, and that is also called execution. And then another interesting word which comes to you, market leader. When I am using the word, we are market leader in some of the products. I think I told earlier also, Level State is one product. ASLD, because of small market, we have got maximum orders last year. And when we talk about call, also a small segment. So market leader means it's not that you become arrogant or you show your style or you do something else. Market leader brings in more responsibilities, because it's very easy to reach the top, but it's difficult to stay at the top. It is I'm grateful to the whole nature that somehow high-tech has got into the businesses which are not very, very competitive. You will see 2 or 3 players or 4 players. Now competition is there in 4, but when the competition is 40 people, you can't do anything. Like when you talk about a transformer company, a cable company, you give a quotation that 10-15 companies quoting for a transformer. It's very difficult to become a leader and survive even at first, second position. Somebody will come with a new plan next year, somebody will drop the prices, somebody will do something silly and win the business. But here we are, you see all of our product range, 14-15 product range, not many players. And we got some technological advantage somewhere where we talk about. There's a brand advantage, that somewhere we have got a historical advantage. Like Hora, today we may not be very competitive, but we got a historical advantage of Hora. That we have sold huge quantity of valves in last 10 years. That is helping us to remain in the business. So everywhere there is something positive about each of our business. Pillar box, we talk about German company, sold highest number of pillar boxes, very reliable. A lot of things are happening. Unless we do it, we will not tell you. There are 2-3 areas we are talking about mergers and acquisitions. ITS work is happening. Solar continues. Whatever turnover will come from solar business also. We are importing solar products and selling. Water meter also we are doing some work. Some orders are there in hand, which we will be executing with one engineering company, where we will be supplying water meters and installation, commissioning, everything. I think something like that we are working. So these will give us other growth sectors which will continue below the main sales and marketing business. Why all this? This is what I said earlier, that there are two things, that either you are a very small success and be happy, or you try to make it a big affair where so many people can participate and make it a movement. Like how a small company which started with two members, which will be 2 or 3 members, I would say. First we 2 there, and immediately Mr. Denmark joined. So we were just 3 of us only. And my father was always there to help me out on imports. A lot of that I will tell you in the 30-year story. And this moment, at the moment what is I'm talking about, is invaluable. Because you are listening to a whole story of 30 years and how it became from 2 to 3 members to 150 members. All that will be known in this small session. And it's a 3 decades together. And I would say you will be meeting those members. It's very important. Like if in a journey it happens, you are meeting the founder, people who started this organization, Mr. Varghese, Devnath and myself. And another important thing is that you are meeting 3 generations also today. We are like, my father is here who helped me who believed on me. Again, the word belief comes here, that I am a very shy person and a finance guy. So giving a belief on me to start an engineering business is also a big thing. Those days, that much of money he invested on me, nobody would have done it. Despite not having the money, it was given. Do it, fail 3 times. Here we gave chances more than that, I would say. If you fail 3 times also, I don't say anything. For me, it was 3 failures were allowed, and this is 3rd failure. High-tech is out of 3rd failure. Some other day I'll explain to you what was first 2 failures at that point of time. So this was how it is. And so you will be meeting the 3 generations also. So it's a very invaluable moment. You meet old high-tech, middle level high-tech and the brand new high-tech. All 3 you are meeting today. So it's a very, very invaluable moment. And for me also, I have passed through all this skeptical, doubtful, suspicion, all these are, which I try to clear to you. Sometimes I remember last year I think we passed 1,000 crores turnover. It was a great thing if you see in an organization which has been doing 200 orders a year, 300 orders a year, then 400, 500. So one comment came from somewhere, I don't know from where it came. What is so great about 1,000 crore orders? Where is the value? But what I would like to say that first reach 1,000 crores, 1,000 orders, then talk about values. Let us first reach milestone one by one. So this is the very skeptical mind. 1,000 crore order only came away. Where is the value about it? But my mind is that let's first reach 1,000 crores, then we talk about it. 1,000, I would say 1,000 orders. Second, an interesting thing which I always said, if you remember the cricket tournament, I said that I will not talk about the results. So results came somehow, it was all open to you, and results came that I was the captain of a team, there were 6 more teams. It was all very transparent, and I won. Vivek was one of my members. I bought him very expensive. I was given 1 lakh rupees, I spent all 40% money on him. So we won it, but I told in my office, same next day morning, that please must go and must explain to the branches that it is not a fixed match, that people allowed us to win. And still he came back and said that one branch has said this. Kya cricket hua, wo to sab fixed hoga. Owner and his son has won. And it was really hard for my, this is what I'm trying to say, come out of that suspicion, come out of all doubts, whatever. I can clear all, but come out of that, the whole thought process, please come out. Otherwise this organization could not stay for 30 years, this organization could not have talked about business in today's scenario when power sector is not doing that well. So this is what I would like to give the message, come out of all this, come out of disbelief. It's all possible. So today's session, evening session will be more about how much you have been able to come out of your disbelief. And this whole thing, whatever the team, this organization is witness to market changes. When I started business, power sector was something great. Everywhere there is growth steady. So it was always 30 years ago, or a power sector is the best business. Kabhi problem hi nahi hoga. Always we will need power. We are always shortage of power. Our population is growing every year, so we will always need power. Today, see how fast the things have changed. Today we are at excess power. We are talking about 50 to 55% of PLF. You will know very soon. PLF, plant load factor. Like power station capacity is 100, they are asked to run for 55% time. 45% they are idle. Total capacity. So the scenario has changed so fast. We are witness to that also. Mr. Tiwari will, when you ask me, you will understand that how it used to be 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Shutdown was an event. Shutdown period was an event with whatever has to happen before shutdown. All spares, everything you must supply. Now there is no problem shutdown. Every day you can take shutdown because it's all closed. Most of the stations are closed nowadays. In that scenario we have passed through and we are talking about growth. Those days duty was 250%. If you are in our kind of business, one import consignment 250% duty. 10% discount you have taken from manufacturer, you have earned 250% extra on 10%. That margin, if you sell 10 orders, you will not get because there is no duty. If you talk about clear camera, there is no duty. Level state probes, no duty. So where is the margins left? Are you getting my point? Something you buy at 10 rupees, you pay 250 rupees duty. You sell at 35 rupees. So somehow you can buy 10. And in high-tech, I would say there was a little moment of crisis in 2014. And I would say because that happened, today our profits are equal to turnover of those days. This is the change in last 5 years. So those people who worked with high-tech for last 5 years, they witnessed that change also. And target for now is simple: implement and grow.